The following is a production of the University of Hartford School of Communication.
Hi, I'm Alex. This is Kupe the Scoop, and I'm here with a special guest. I'm very honored to be with this guest. His name is Peter Barry. He's an inspiration. I'm just kidding. He doesn't like when he's called that. This is my friend Peter Barry. I'm going to introduce you. You study marketing?
Yeah, doing my master's in marketing with a focus in sales.
You're in your fifth year,
Uh,
and
Super senior, that's what they call me on
you're
the
a super
teams.
senior, and you play wheelchair basketball for D1 Alabama, the best wheelchair basketball program in America.
No, well, not this past season, but yeah, I can tell you
You're a
our
former
season.
athlete.
Yes.
You are an athlete. Okay.
Yeah.
So, first question I wanted to ask you is not that many people know about wheelchair basketball versus able-bodied basketball, but obviously you've kind of connected with some of the able-bodied athletes. How drastic is the workload going from playing from the Hot Wheels, which are I don't even know they're
That was my
it's a
high school, my team in high school.
your high school wheelchair basketball team versus possibly the best wheelchair basketball program in America.
Yeah. That's a good question. I think with any sport, like you see a drastic change in the workload just because in high school, while it is a full-time job, um, in college, I mean, your life is kind of centered um, and focused around wheelchair basketball or like whatever sport that you're participating in. So it definitely becomes more of a focus. And now with NIL opening up, there's even more of a focus on sports just with how many opportunities exist for athletes right now. So
Is that
definitely
is
a
that
big difference.
is that because it's growing? How much it's growing?
Yeah, I think so. Like companies and organizations just place stock in athletes and the storytelling side of it. And then obviously there's just so much money to be made off of the top names. So NIL opportunity isn't as prevalent in like smaller sports, but definitely when you're talking about football or basketball, like stand up ball, the NIL opportunities are there. But
Makes sense.
um,
Yeah.
yeah.
So for everyone in Houston that I guess knows you, they're probably gonna already know this. I'm just gonna summarize it. You started playing wheelchair basketball when you were 9.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah.
When you were 9, and what obviously it's a very humbling experience for you. No matter what experience you have going through it. What's been the most humbling experience for you as you started playing it during college?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny you asked that. I was talking to somebody about this last night, good family friend. They were saying, would you advise your kids to play like a high level D1 competitive sport?
Oh
I
wow.
said, yeah, if they had the talent and they were fortunate enough to where they could compete and were scouted, I would say yes. And to answer your question, I'm prefacing that.
Mhm.
Um, it kind of exposes all of the weaknesses and my shortcomings, the soft skills I was looking to improve. So compared to my freshman year to now, I mean my time management, um,
Oh wow.
and my determination, my foresight, work ethic. I mean, I'm a new person, and I definitely have my sports to credit that for. So yeah.
And the crazy thing about that is, in high school, I'm not gonna say you were famous, but I mean, like, you had to be good with your time management because you had to go to practice, you had to manage a lot of stuff that was going on with the basketball team. There's a lot of donation, fundraiser, stuff like that. So for you to say that that's gotten, even crazier is really crazy to hear.
I appreciate that, Coop. Yeah, it's definitely
Um,
improved.
I mean, yeah, it's crazy. What would you say is the biggest? I know you're gonna hate this question, but what would you say is the biggest role model, someone you look up to, or something that keeps you drive, that's something that keeps your drive going?
No, that's a good question. I mean, honestly, at this point in my life, like, what really motivates me is to, um, do justice by the people who have got me here. I mean, like if you want me to be real honest.
Be
I mean,
honest.
outside of proving it to myself, obviously, like kind of carrying that chip on your shoulder as an athlete. I'd just say like it took so much to get to where I'm at right now, and I didn't do it alone. So like my all of my family, and friends who've supported me, and just people like that who care for me and who have been there for me unconditionally, even when it's an inconvenience for them, maybe, is really what it's about for me.
I mean, basically just kind of repaying everyone, right?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It's a good feeling. So,
Well,
yeah.
I knew you wouldn't like that. I knew you wouldn't like the type of question though, because I mean, I'm sure you get this asked this question a lot. Where do you see yourself in 10 years? Because wheelchair basketball, this you have so many different doors you could go into with this. So where do you see yourself?
Yeah, I mean, 10 years is a long time, but
It
I
is.
know for the next, so my goal is to play in the Paralympics. The next ones are in LA in 28. And so leading up to LA, I'm planning on playing professionally overseas. And so actually this summer I'm going to be playing in a summer league in Australia. And then
Wow.
next season I've
Tell me, can
received
you?
two. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I don't mean to cut you off. That's awesome, Australia. Can you tell me a little more about that?
Yeah, yeah,
What?
yeah. So they do a summer league in Australia. It's like their professional league, and it just runs during the off season for the rest of the world. So I'm going to Brisbane with a club. I'm going to sign with a club there, and that'll be about 2.5, 3 months this summer, and then I have two offers to play in Europe next year for the full season. Um, one in Spain and one in Germany. So just kind of in talks with those coaches, and we'll see where it leads.
Okay. That sounds awesome. I have one
Thanks.
question. This is all me. I want to know this answer. For everyone that doesn't know, wheelchair basketball is rough. You guys are rough, and they're ramming into each other in chairs and all that. And I've seen it firsthand. But what would you say is I want to word this perfectly. Um, what would you say is whether or not physically or um, mentally or emotionally, what is the toughest part about the whole sport?
Yeah.
That and maybe it's changed as you've been playing in college.
No, that's a good question. Outside of I think from the mental side of things, as with anything, really, I mean, this isn't really particularly exclusive to sports or athletics, but like showing up on the days when you really don't want to, like putting in work when you don't feel like it, because working when you're motivated and you feel fine is 50% of the job. And so showing up on the days when you feel like, I don't know if I can curse, but when you feel terrible
Do it.
is
Do
the
it.
other 50%. So, and on the physical side, like, and you know this, you're a sports fan, and um, dude, you used to pull up to practice like every week with us.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Um, when you move to the new levels, like when I went from high school to college to playing international with Team USA for a few years on and off, just the reads are so much quicker. The rotations are quicker, transition is faster. So like you have to make the correct reads at a much faster pace. And so like waiting for the mental to catch up to the physical is like a big can be challenging, but something you got to be patient with, trust the process, trust the work ethic, trust your coaches, stuff like that.
And that's impossible because it's like your instinct, you're getting better at your instinct, but you have to be patient with it. So it's like impossible. It's like being
Yeah,
patient with your patience. Like,
exactly. Yeah, yeah. Some days it's like super frustrating because I know that I could have made the read better.
right.
And so like when you get cut from when I've been cut from a team, it sucks because you just want that chance back. But you have to kind of like one thing our coach here at Bama is like next play mentality. Don't care about the refs, don't care about misses, don't care about not getting stops or whatever. Just next play. So
Yeah,
trying to
that's a good
just
one.
carry that with me wherever
Yeah.
I play.
One question I have, just the last question I have. if you could tell 10-year-old Peter something, anything, tell him, maybe you want to push him or maybe you want to ask him a question. If you could tell him anything, what would you say to him?
Damn, if I could tell him anything, well, I mean, I would just say, that's a
Or
good
not 10, you
question.
know what? I'm sorry, not 10-year-old, just before high school Peter, a younger
Yeah, no,
you.
no, 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 no. That's a good question. Well, first, I mean, I don't know. I've learned over the years how important it can be to support yourself, like pick yourself up,
Oh yeah.
which is a difficult habit. Like it's not something that everyone does easily, and I've worked on it. So that's all to say that I've really enjoyed my journey. I'm proud of everything that I've accomplished, and looking forward to things that are ahead of me. But no, I mean, I would just say be present wherever you're at, like be where your feet are at, if you know that saying. And um yeah, I would really say be in the moment. Like don't look too far ahead and just trust that everything is working out how it should. And that's probably what I would focus on. That's what I would have said.
Thanks, Peter. I appreciate it. That's all the questions I got for you, but we got a lot of good answers from you, and
Dude.
love to do this again sometime.
Yeah, dude, thanks, Coop. I appreciate it. Anytime.
The stuff you do is really good, and the stuff you do is it's it doesn't get talked about enough, and this person, I've known Peter for a long time. He doesn't like being called an inspiration, but the stuff he does, and the work that you and everyone else that you play with is pretty incredible. So I appreciate you
Thanks, Coop.
taking the time to come on the podcast, and I'd love to have you again anytime.
Dude, not even a question. Of course, Coop, I appreciate that.
And that's all we got. Unless there's anything else you want to say, that's all we got. Coop and Scoop.
Coop with the scoop. Thanks, Coop.
Thank you guys for watching. That's a very important person in my life. He's taught me a lot of things, and I hope you guys can take away something from that. This has been Coop with the Scoop. Thanks for watching.
This has been a production of the University of Hartford School of Communication.